Welcome to King Says So, a channel that advocates for one Africa, one land, one Africa, one language, one Africa, one currency, one Africa, one army. I wish to witness Africans all around the world united as one in our lifetime. Enjoy.
The SACP in the Northern Cape call on all our people to go and register and vote, especially the young people, the first-time voters. We encourage you to go and register with the ANC in order for you to go and vote for the African National Congress in the 2024 general elections.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy King 053, Mr. Easy Imali, Eneng, and we're back at it again with another one. I would like to thank everyone for clicking the subscribe button. Guys, we are almost there. 10,000 subscribers. We are almost there. I'm so excited about it. It's a goal of mine that I wanted to reach before the end of 2023. So I appreciate each and every subscriber that has clicked the subscribe button. It's free. You don't pay anything. Just click the subscribe. If you enjoy the content, please click the subscribe, the like button, hit the bell icon, and make sure that you leave your thoughts on the comment section because that's very important for me. We are speaking about the Communist Party. My goodness. The spokesperson of the Communist Party, Alex Mashilo, was interviewed at Newsroom Africa, and what he said to me is bigger than Mkhonto Wesizwe fighting Barking, the ANC. Cyril Ramaphosa has lost control of the ANC. I'm going to tell you right now, Cyril Ramaphosa has lost the control of the ANC. I must say, Bo Blade Mzimande and Bo Solima Paila have been complaining and been threatening the ANC that they will leave the ANC ever since Zuma time. Those men, for me, they don't have the balls to do what they say they're going to do. But right now, the economical situation, the political climax is forcing them. They can now see that the ANC does not take them serious. They can see that they have been sidelined at all times. All times, you never hear anything about the Communist Party. They don't move with the ANC. They're just there in the boardroom and they're in the background, but really they don't move with the ANC. Let's first listen to the first clip of Alex speaking. Oh my God, I must say Dr. Alex because, people have obtained their PhDs, so we must respect them. What he said about the voice of the Communist Party, even COSATU being silenced as an alliance partners. They've been silenced at all times. Let's quickly listen to that.
Elections edge ever closer and closer. Political parties are intensifying their campaigns. One of the tripartite alliance members, SACP, has unveiled what it says is a robust political strategy against neoliberalism ahead of the 2024 polls. The SACP says as part of its political strategy, it will engage its allied partners on the reconfiguration of the alliance. For more on this, we are joined by Dr. Alex Mashilo from the SACP. Dr. Mashilo, a very good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much. Greetings to you and to the viewers at home.
Dr. Mashilo, let's go straight into it. I mean, when you say that you are launching and looking at a different ideology, if I can call it that, and challenging the ideas of neoliberalism, what would be at the heart of that as we go into this election year?
Okay, thank you very much. We are not necessarily looking into a different ideology. On Saturday, the 6th of this month, at the Avalon Cemetery, our General Secretary Solima Paila will use his keynote message to outline the key tenets of our strategy going forward. We have been engaging with our alliance partners to reconfigure the alliance so that when you listen to the public representatives who have come through the ANC had a list of the alliance. You also hear the voices of the SACP and of CASATU articulating working class interests. The way the alliance is configured and going back, by and large, what you hear is the mandate emanating from the African National Congress. When the ANC leaders go and address the caucuses to communicate the ANC mandate, you would have noticed that there would be no alliance partners, and at times there would have been no alliance consultation. Now, what we decided in December at our last Central Committee plenary for 2023 is that we are going to be upgrading our engagement within the alliance for a reconfiguration of this alliance to move with the time into an active struggle to achieve the reconfiguration. In the previous elections, when we campaigned within the framework of the alliance, by and large we limited our articulation to agreed upon points in the manifesto. This time around, going to the 2024 national and provincial elections, we are not going to do that. In addition, should any working class interest not make it into the manifesto, including our measures against what we call neoliberal policies, for example, austerity, should those working class interests not make it into the manifesto, we are going to use the campaigning period to elevate those interests and our independent voice. We are preparing for the future here, because in the future, should the alliance not be reconfigured, it will have no future, if I may repeat that word, because without the reconfiguration of the alliance, there is no way the alliance will serve as a future electoral modality for the working class, especially led by the SACP. That's why we are going to employ this as our strategy for the forthcoming elections.
Dr. Machida, maybe if I may, when you talk about reconfiguration, and it almost sounds like you're saying that things need to change in how the tripartite alliance has been working together, lack of a better phrase.
The key words here is reconfiguration of the alliance, and it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. What they are demanding now from the ANC could not deliver for 30 years. How are they going to deliver now? The ANC had a beautiful relationship with the Communist Party in the times of Chris Hani, Joe Slovo, and all that. After 1994, man, this alliance was just an abusive relationship. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. What has the Communist Party really honestly joined instead of some ministries that they control, Minister of Education and all that? Blade was a Minister of Higher Education. What has the Communist Party actually gained from this alliance? I don't see anything. I studied the Communist Party. Unfortunately, they are in alliance with a capitalist party. The ANC is a capitalist party. They are not a socialist caste. They are not a communist party. They are a capitalist party. Unfortunately, it's survival of the fittest there with the ANC. This thing of let's work, let's put the needs of the workers in front of whatever. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But Cyril Ramaphosa and them, they've got shares in big companies where the main focus is profit, not the good relationship with the workers. That's why they keep on blaming him for what happened in Marikana. You remember that, right? Nobody cared about those workers. Shoot them dead right on the spot. You know what I'm saying? So for me, the Communist Party, they need to take themselves serious and leave right now. Why should they wait when because they are just waiting to see if the ANC will get that 50 plus 1% or even an alliance with another party and make sure that the ANC pushes over that 50% mark, and then probably give them some ministries to be in charge, minister of agriculture or whatever. I don't know what is it that they will get some space in the parliament, some chairs in the parliament. But for me, it's like they should have, if they're gonna leave, they should leave now, not after the elections. After the elections, that reconfigurations should take place. That meeting for uniting the Communist Party, reuniting the Communist Party with the ANC should start. The second and last clip I'm going to play for you is Dr. Alex Mashilo. What he's saying here is never going to happen in the ANC. The ANC forming a state-owned bank, it's not gonna happen. There's okay. Let's quickly listen to him so I can give my final thoughts.
But what sort of reconfiguration are we talking about? Is it from a policy perspective? I mean, you mentioned, and I also touched on the issue of neoliberalism that you have spoken about. So what sort of reconfiguration are we talking about in this instance?
You are absolutely correct. The reconfiguration must be anchored in a recommitment to achieve the aims of the Freedom Charter. Let me give you an example. Under neoliberal policies, the state must have a limited role in the economy. It therefore cannot have, for example, as it has been the case for the past 60 years now, we do not have a state bank in South Africa. What does the Freedom Charter say about the banking sector? The Freedom Charter envisages a dominant role of the state in the banking sector. 30 years on, there is no bank. Even state institutions are banking with private commercial banks, and they are being ripped off like all of us when we go to the private commercial banks to look for financial services. I will give a practical example because this hits at the heart of what has happened. During the COVID-19, the state introduced a COVID-19 relief for small enterprises. The commercial banks administered the state guaranteed loan schemes in the same way as they administer their financialized products. As a result, that scheme effectively failed to achieve its purpose. During that time, the working class had lost over 2.2 million jobs. If the state had a state-owned bank, it would have administered that fund through the state-owned bank, and many of the enterprises, especially those owned by Africans or black people in general, including women and youth, will not have closed down. Now when you are in the big cities and the big towns, you meet people who owned small, medium, and micro enterprises who tell you we used to have these enterprises, but we didn't have them during COVID because the banks failed to administer that fund to help these small, medium, and micro enterprises. That is an example. We are now under load shedding. This came as a result of neoliberal policies which attacked the role of the state in the economy. In 1998, a decision was taken when the white paper on energy was adopted that energy security will come from power generated by private power producers called independent power producers. When that model failed, it delivered South Africa into the load shedding that we are facing and the job losses. Now, if the SACP will not pull up its socks, mobilize the working class against neoliberal policies, and ensure that the immediate interests of the working class find profound expression in the manifesto, then we are going to have problems. That's why we are following this as our strategy for the forthcoming elections, and noting that the elections to be held this year are not the last elections. At the same time, we are building a popular left front and a mass-based socialist movement, because there is no way in the future we can continue with the alliance without reconfiguration. Reconfiguration hits at the heart of the agenda. It also hits at the heart of the people you will see in the list. It can be, for example, in a province, you have ANC representatives in the list from 1 up to 18 up to 20. Only thereafter you begin to see some SACP and ANC and Wasatu faces. That's not how a reconfigured alliance will work. This list will be inclusive, but most importantly, a reconfigured alliance will be based on a changed agenda to assert the interests of the majority of our people.
Dr. Mashilo, yeah.
Dr. Alex Mashilo is dreaming. I almost said he's drinking. The aims of the what you call the Freedom Charter, the ANC is not concerned about those things anymore. They are lip services. It's things they say in the boardroom and the things they say for the media. But when it comes to the practical things on the ground, the Freedom Charter is not there. The ANC building a state-owned bank, I forget about that. And it's not like they don't have the political will. It's been blocked by these banks. Remember, the state is the highest employer in South Africa. The private sector does not employ more workers than the state. The state employs more workers than the private sector. What does that mean? The payroll of the state is big. The banks, Absa, Capitec, and Standard Bank, and all of that bank can't allow those salaries to go to a state-owned bank. So what they do, they approach politicians on the side and give them millions and say, man, kill that thing in the boardroom. When someone speaks about the state-owned bank, just kill it. And they finance, they kill the idea of a state-owned bank by financing a few individuals. And that's the whole truth. There is no state-owned bank that is going to be built. Forget about a state-owned bank. It's not going to happen. Absa, Capitec, Standard Bank, Nedbank, what's the other one? FNB are not going to allow the state to take the salaries of state workers into a state-owned bank. That state-owned bank will change the lives of South Africans, especially state workers as employees of the state. It will change our lives completely. Lower interest rate. Will be able to borrow on behalf of on the background of our pensions. We'll be able to buy houses, we'll be able to buy cars, we'll be able to finance our businesses if the state owns the bank. But it's not going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. It's not going to happen. Forget about that one. State-owned banking, not now. Only the EFF can give you that. The DA will not give you a state-owned bank. They have never said any word about a state-owned bank, not even one. There is no other political. They're just making a noise, but only the EFF can give you a state-owned bank. Maybe even Mkhonto Wesizo, but who knows? Because Jacob Zuma was there for a long time, almost 9 years, almost 10 years. He never built a state-owned bank. Because I'm telling you, they don't allow it. It's just like the network companies, Vodacom, MTN, and Cell C and Telkom. They don't allow these American companies to come. What's his name? This guy who owns X, who bought Twitter. Why am I forgetting that fool's name? Anyway, he's got a network company. He's got a network company. The guy that owns Tesla. Where is his name? Yes. This fool. He owns a network company. He's trying to infiltrate Africa, but Vodacom and MTN are buying politicians to say no to close them because data will be almost free. Making calls will be almost free if they infiltrated the market here. That is what is happening, ladies and gentlemen. The Communist Party has got one leg out. They've got one leg out. They are ready to leave, and the negative cloud of negative press continues for the ANC. I think the past, I don't know how many months, 6 months, I've not reported any good thing that is happening in the ANC. I don't remember reporting something and I was happy. I was like, wow, look at what the ANC is doing. This is beautiful. Negative press after negative press will diminish and kill the image of the African National Congress. It's gonna hurt them, guys. It's gonna hurt them, you know. And really, I thought from 10 million voters on the last elections nationally, I thought maybe they will lose 2 million and maybe even 1.5 million. But now every day that number is going down. You can see them losing 3 million. You can see them losing 4 million. You know, it's scary. It's scary what is happening here. It's scary, especially if the EFF does not win. And then there is a collusion government somehow. We are not ready for that. We're probably going to have 3 presidents in a span of 3 years. That is what is going to happen if the EFF doesn't win and the ANC remains in power, but with a collusion with another small parties and all that. We're going to see miracles here in South Africa. I promise you. So you hear the Communist Party, Dr. Alex Mashido speaking about this is not the last elections. There's other elections that are coming. This is a clear indication that they are leaving the African National Congress. COSATU and the Communist Party are leaving the African National Congress. This is worse news than the Mkhonto Wesizwe, I promise you. These people have been in the alliance since day one. Since day one. Yo! Tell me what you guys think on the comment section. For me, it's big news. For me, this is big news. Again, in January, the ANC still does not have its things in its people intact, its alliance intact. There's nothing anywhere is Cyril Ramaphosa. Shh. That's what he does best. Because these people are paid. These politicians, they are paid. They are paid. You heard what Gayton McKenzie said. He said he was offered, I think, 200 million not to participate in the elections in the Western Cape. Imagine how many other political parties have taken that offer. Gayton said he said no, so we have to respect him for that. They said no, you do not compete in the Western Cape. You can compete anywhere else. We'll give you 200 million. The private sector is doing that. So people don't know what is happening actually. They just hear what in the surface. Why is the ANC not building a state-owned bank? Why? The ANC has the money to build the state-owned bank, but they will never do that. Never. Forget about it. I've stated my reasons. Thank you so much, guys. Let's hit these 10,000 subscribers before the end of this week. I'll be very happy if you did that for me. If you are enjoying the content, click the subscribe button. Leave your thoughts on the comment section. For me, the Communist Party threatening the ANC to leave. Bafethu, this is big. ANC inyele. This is big, Bafethu. Until we meet next time, don't forget to pray. And after you pray, stand up and do your best so that God can do the rest. Peace in Pan-Africanism. It's your boy, King 053, Mr. Easy Imali, Eneng. I salute you.